Okay, so today I'm going to show you how to get this to get less acidic, meaning when you drink this, sometimes you get acid reflexes, and this will solve a lot of things as well for acid reflexes. Now, if you like orange juice and you get acid reflexes after drinking orange juice or anything that is acidic, you will have this problem. I have to caution you, okay, because we're going to use baking soda to neutralize the acid in there, okay? And remember, the main ingredients on this, okay, right there, it is sodium bicarbonate, okay? That's a very important. It's the bicarbonate. Now, a lot of people have misconceptions of baking soda and something like this here. That's a laundry detergent, okay? And the difference on that is they use sodium carbonate. That is a lot of that is, if you drink a lot of those, it's considered poison. So remember, and it also irritates skins and everything as well. So remember, very important in this this video is that you have to have sodium bicarbonate, okay? And this is non-poisoning. And this is they use in laundry detergent, okay? So we're going to put that aside. Although it's a natural substance, it is harmful, but not baking soda. And this is for baking, cleaning, and deodorizing. But remember, there's a difference between the ingredients, okay? So when you buy your baking soda, make sure it says sodium bicarbonate. Now, another thing that you can do, which is that's what they use in here, is calcium carbonate. Okay, and that's what the main ingredients they use in here. If you notice, it relieves our acid, stomach upsets, and heartburns, and sour stomach, blah 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 blah. But it has calcium. Now, because that's the main ingredient, calcium carbonate. Calcium can give you calcium deposit in your foot. So if you see these round stuff on your foot and it flakes off and it's white, that's actually calcium. So another alternative, if you can't have calcium carbonate, then the alternative would be baking soda. And that's how you neutralize the acid in orange juice. And all you need for a 16 ounce like this is my carry out right here. Actually, this is 12 ounce. I put just a quarter of a teaspoon, about this much, that's it. Just a tiny bit right there. Right there. So it's probably 1/8 of a teaspoon, maybe, because I don't like to drink too much of the baking soda. So you want to be as less as you can, but you're gonna have to experiment that. Start with little, always start with little, and then see if it makes you get more stomach upset, because this will neutralize it. This baking soda will neutralize the acid in here, and it will help you to digest a lot better in your stomach. Now, if you have sour stomach, stomach upset, or when you lay down and then you start to burp up like a baby, that's because the acid, it's overwhelmed in your stomach. There's too much acid. And as you get older, or some people who cannot produce this acid to combat, they would have problems having sour stomach or stomach upset or acid reflexes, blah, 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 blah. Where it actually burns your throat afterward too. So that's another thing. And all you do is just put that in there, and that's it. And just stir around, make sure to mix it really well. But like I said before, and I'll say it again, use as less as you can. Experiment a little bit. Because remember, they use this in baking, okay? And like I said, you can also use Tums. But here's a problem with Tums. If you have too much calcium in your body, it's actually not good. It actually would deposit. Now, you see how they are added calcium right here? See? Calcium, vitamin D added. They already put that in there. They actually, some orange juice, they put extra in there. And that's to help you to digest better. Now, as I stated before, calcium can give you on your foot. It's called, when it dries out, because calcium cannot leave the body. Your body will process it, use it. But if it's too much calcium, it makes a little round things on your foot. I don't have it, but I've seen people have it. And what that does is that it'll flake off, and you see little tiny white particles on especially on the foot, because gravity will pull that down to the foot section. And then when it dries out, it'll flake off, and that's how you get calcium deposits. Now, it takes a while for the body to work that out. So if people who have a problem with calcium, and you see them on their foot or whatever, like on their heels, because that's where gravity would go down to, on the side of the ankle and stuff, and you see these little round stuff. My grandmother have it, and when you do that, you would see that's what that is. And I used to flake it off, and I actually tested them, and I see them, they look exactly like calcium. So I know for a fact that's calcium deposit. I did not lab test it, but I know that's what it is, because I actually scraped them off on my grandmother's foot, like tons of it, and you would see little round things on her foot. Not her foot, but the side of the ankle, on both sides of the ankles. And when it dries, you flick it off, and you see little white particles, and that's too much calcium. Anyway, just in case people wants to know what that is. Because there's too much calcium. So now she actually drink less. She won't, this is for me, because I have no problem with that. This is calcium and vitamin D added. So I have no problem with that, but she would drink without the calcium now, and it actually relieved that, and she no longer have tons of those. And that's how I know that calcium create those little specks. Anyway, what you would need to do in this case, and if you have problems with Tums, I take Tums, but my grandmother refused to take Tums now, because for like stomach upset or whatever, then you would need, the main ingredient would be baking soda, and that's how I use now. It causes less problems. My grandmother used these now, because, like I said, calcium gives her these little tiny deposits on her foot. So the best thing to do to neutralize it, like when you buy them from the store, calculate from here, and every 12 ounces I put a quarter, just a quarter, like a little tiny bit right there, for every 12 ounces. For you, I would start with little 1/8 of a teaspoon, and then work your way up for every 12 ounce, or even less, or even just start just, for this right here, usually I put less than half a teaspoon, about this much, in for this whole thing, and then I shake it really well, and I leave it a day before I actually start drinking it. Then it'll neutralize the acid. The taste is, you won't get the taste as good, but that's how you would solve that problem there. To work something like this here, like if you go a gallon, like you know how they have that 1 gallon of orange juice or whatever, your favorite juice or whatever, and this can actually apply to grape juice. Some people have problem with grape juice as well, but to drink as less as you can. Just remember, drink water more than drinking orange juice. But this is just to once a week. I usually drink 2 cups of this. Sometimes I'll drink the whole thing for the whole week, but I try to drink this as less as I can, because it is my favorite juice, and you know, you can't take away your favorite juice. So by eliminating that, eliminating like stomach acid and acid reflexes and what is it called, heartburn, or what they call it, heartburn, like what happened when you drink this and then you lay down or you fall asleep and then you get up and it's like it's burning in your throat, like it's about to come out, like a baby burping. That's what that is, because there's too much acid in your stomach, is aren't able to process all that. So this is literally for the people who have acid problems, or as you go older, your stomach is producing these less acid to combat these. Remember, if you see my other videos, I talk about fermenting, and as you grow older, your bodies are doesn't have enough acid to process all these. So that's why it's going back up, literally. Because remember, if you see my other video, you would know that the acid consumed it, and the waste is what benefit that you benefit from. So by having to go this route to neutralize it, that's the only way I can enjoy orange juice. Now, I can drink a little bit, but if I drink a certain amount, then my stomach's starting to get upset. It's because I guess my body's a lot different from other people. I am having what they call, there's a term for it, which your body produces less acid than it is supposed to. And yes, there are young people actually have this problem as well, and they don't even know it. But if you've seen this video and you know somebody that have problems with that, just tell them that the simplest thing to do is to solve it is to get baking soda. And remember, it has to be sodium bicarbonate, okay? You can't just get anything. Like, you look at the thing and you say, like, oh, well, you know, it says sodium carbonate, like, for instance, like this right here. Arm & Hammer, sorry. I'm working with a new camera. Arm & Hammer, washing soda. That's poison. That's considered as poison. Not poison. It is a natural product, but it does raise your alkaline. And that's the difference on that, okay? So, remember, it has to be sodium bicarbonate. And if you can't, the next best thing is to grind these out. These right here, the calcium pills. And it says calcium carbonate. So, literally, they added calcium plus carbonate to make that right there, to make the 2 ingredients right there, to make it neutralize in your stomach. And that's how it neutralizes. But the best thing to do, because this is safer, it is not, it's considered non-toxic. So what you do is you use it as I always stated, you use as less as you can, okay? Because if you want to enjoy orange juice, you would have to go this route. Now, if you get a lot of juice, like other juice, and you have that problem, then more likely you're pretty much like me, where you would have that problem issues. Less stomach acid to digest, or the word would be digest, I guess, or like I said, fermenting. Because during that stage, a fermenting stage, the stomach need to work all the stuff in there. And when it doesn't, and it's unable to, then it needs help. It's too much. So what you can do is you have to drink less. But most of the time, you know, me and a lot of people, we're not going to drink less. This is like my amount right here. I usually, if I do something or, you know, work around the house or whatever, I take this whole container with me. And that's 12 ounces. But you know for a fact you're not going to drink no 6 ounces. So that's the thing. And then an hour later, I feel like my stomach upset. So that's how I found out about baking soda, to neutralize the acid in the orange juice, and it works 100%. And like I stated, drink as less as this as possible, and drink as less as this as possible as well. Now I take about half of this, but I sip. Okay, remember, you're supposed to enjoy, not gulping down this whole container. You know what I'm saying? So, you take as little as you can, and by taking little by little and just sipping it, instead of gulping this down in 2 minutes, you can actually span this out in 10 minutes. And by doing that, it actually satisfies the taste. Okay? And when that does, you drink less. And that's how that works. Everything works the same way. If you have problems with certain food, eat little section at a time. Spread it out little by little, and then eat them at a time. Sort of like how I said. Instead of drinking this whole thing down, I just take it little by little by little by little. Drink little by little by little by little. And by the time my body or my taste buds starting to span out, it no longer wants to drink more. But if you drink like really fast, your body would want to drink more. Well, and that's the secret to that. That's how I solve that problem. By drinking not one gulp, like a big gulp or whatever. Just little by little by little by little. And that's how I solve this. Because orange juice, it is my favorite. I love orange and peaches. And those are the two things that I like. And when I starting to get a lot of acid reflexes, or they call it stomach upset, or what did I say, heartburn, or whatever, like the symptoms that they write around here. Right there. Okay. Usage. Right there. That's when I realized that why don't I neutralize the acid first? So what, like I said earlier, is that I take a quarter of, like about this much, of a teaspoon. This is a teaspoon. I take about that much. So 1/3 of it for this whole thing. And that's how I did it. And now I'm able to enjoy it without having issues. But like I said, drink as less as you can. It's always, this is a treat. I consider this as a treat for me. I don't drink it as like, you know, everyday thing, or I don't drink it as saying that, oh, I want to drink orange juice. This is actually a treat for me. Instead of soda or coffee, it becomes a treat. And that's how I solve that. Remember in other videos that I actually stopped drinking coffee. If you see the other videos, I still do it once in a while, but I don't do it like I used to do regularly. So now this becomes my drinks, but finding out that I can't drink a lot of them because it's too much acid in there. It's acidic. Sort of like lemon juice and limes and anything. I don't know if it has to do with sour or it has to do with citric acid. Maybe it is the citric acid. I'm not sure on that one. But like I said, to solve it, that's how I solve that. So if you have that problem, or you know someone have that problem, just tell them to get baking soda, add a little bit into their orange juice, and they can enjoy it. But it is not a thing that you can enjoy all the time, blah, 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 blah. It is a treat. Consider it as a treat, because normal people can drink the whole thing and without any problem. If I drink this whole thing, I would get so much stomach upset without, if I do it without the baking soda, I would have so much stomach upset. I'd probably throw up afterward. But, like I stated before, it becomes a treat. All these, it becomes a treat now. It is not something that I drink regular. It becomes a treat. And you have to treat it as such. Anyway, I hope that this will help somebody. And I'm sorry if the camera's shaking a little bit, because this is I'm trying out my new camera. It's a 4K camera, and I'm trying this out. So I hope you're viewing this okay and doesn't make you dizzy or anything like that, because I'm holding it in my hand, and my hand is not that steady. So anyway, I hope that this will help somebody, and I hope this help you out with your favorite drink here, especially orange juice.